focused on pricing, and let's try to understand the pain point of the customers. So we did a lot of research, we did a lot of survey, and we So another very interesting story, a story about a mobile accessories brand. This brand essentially used to sell mobile phone cases to a lot of people, and it is one of the national leaders in there. And they started consulting me. They were doing great in terms of e-commerce, but they wanted to see what better can be done, right? So we were doing a lot of things in terms of there was a lot of dynamic content that was generated for the brand in terms of making sure that the mobile phone cases were targeted to the right people. They were targeted to the right audience. There were different audiences selected. Some were for business, some were for fashion and show, someone for bling, and so on and so forth. There was a lot of focus also on a lot of Facebook ads. We were focused on top of the funnel, where we're creating awareness that here's a great brand where you don't not only get high quality mobile phone cases, but you also get lots of colors, lots of options, lots of styles, and so on. And there was a lot of repeat sales that we used to encourage, because mobile phone cases is essentially something which people would like to change every few months, and it's not very costly. People who are having iPhones and large end phones, in terms of price, they won't mind changing, but we wanted to make sure that everyone changes, right? So there were a lot of dimensions involved in terms of customer segmentation, in terms of the messaging, in terms of the mobile phone cases. There were hundreds of mobiles. There are hundreds of mobiles in the market. Now what happens is that for each of them, we had to have collection of mobile phone cases for each of them. So there were thousands and tens of thousands of mobile phone cases on the website, and we had to make sure that we had to get the customer on the right mobile phone case, on the right page with every ad. And that was a lot of good work that we were doing, and so on and so forth. So this entire campaign was completely customer centric, and we were completely into details of what does a customer want. Does he really want a mobile phone case for protection? Does he want it for style? Does it want it for saying out a message loud? Does he want a customized mobile phone case where his name? Does it want it for gifting, and so on? And then there was a very good conversion path that was created in terms of for each and every buyer persona. There was a different conversion path that was created, and ads were running, and they were all doing very, very great. And there was still one issue that was always there at the top of our heads, top of our minds, is that conversion rates were not great. We wanted to increase the conversion rates, and there were a lot of things that were being done. Marketing automation was done in terms of on the landing page, on the website, in terms of exit pop-ups, in terms of the right offers, in terms of which source should see which kind of page, and so on and so on, right? So growth hacking was done like anything. We were just going all out in terms of ads, and we had great ROAS, which is return on ad spends, which was 4 times, 5 times, and sometimes even more. But there were times when it used to drop to 3 times, and so on and so forth, right? So we said let's do something interesting. Let's do something which is focused on pricing, and let's try to understand the pain point of the customers. So we did a lot of research, we did a lot of survey, and we said that okay, we have mobile phone cases, right from 5,000 to 100,000 rupees. So that's a lot of range. So can we break it into multiple segments? We broke that. We did that. We did a lot of segmentation in terms of the type of mobile phone cases based on price. Then we also said that okay, how many mobile phone cases do we have? What are the price ranges? We had typically 4 price ranges, around 600, 800, 1000, 1200, and so on. So what we said was, we need to ensure that our monthly recurring revenue is stable, it is growing, and it cannot drop. And obviously we had to maintain the ROAS also. So the great dynamic pricing strategy that we thought of is that after a lot of research, after a lot of primary research, we found out that customers were willing to spend only a certain percentage of money the percentage of the mobile phone cost. So for example, if the mobile phone cost was 20,000 rupees, they would spend 1,000 rupees at max. If it was 50,000 rupees, they would spend 2,500 and so on. So a percentage was derived, and we said, okay, 5% is the limit. And this was not something which was obvious. The customer did not have it in his mind. No survey, no net promoter score, no nothing found this out. We had a certain amount of churn rate in terms of customer losing, but in all the exit interviews this never came out. But this came out in a very in primary research. And once we identified that, when we said, okay, this is what we wanted. All the high-end phones, the mobile phone cases will be more expensive now. If they were 1,200, they'll be 2,500 or 3,000. Not 5%, but we kept it around 3.5-4%. And then if it was a lower end, similarly the price was decreased. So this is what essentially made sure that our conversion rates increased by 4 times, because people were now getting what they wanted at the price what they had in mind. Of course, we made more profits, we made more sales, we made more revenue, and that is what I want you to understand, that always understand pricing in much more detail. It is one of the most important aspects of your product, of your service, of your offering, of your treatment, anything. So you have to understand the customer psyche, and you have to understand how it can benefit your business. Thank you.